Hey, so you're about to witness the most ghetto blaze sesh ever. The average blaze sesh for me. No fucking pipe, no Bic lighter. Got my secret hiding spot. So I have this mark right here, you can see on my nose. I went to get my eyebrows waxed because they're getting real bushy. They're getting real George Bushy, and the bitch put like the whole bottle of wax on my face and let it sit there way too long. She had to talk on the phone to someone. She let it sit here on my face, and then whoosh, fucking ripped off some of my skin. She ripped off more skin than fucking hair. So yeah, I got a refund. That's all. That's all that's left in this world. That and this thing over there. Come here. Come here, little tiger. Hey, kitty. We love pussy. I love some pussy. Pussycat. Okay. Let's get to the blaze and to the story. This is a shitty fucking bowl, but whatever. So, it's another getting high around the world, but, I have a trailer tale ready for after this. So, let's see. In this story, it's not really a crazy story, but it's just like a true story and something I'll probably never forget, even though I forget some of the details because I was fucked up. But it was getting high in London, and this is how it happened. So I need to take the first hit and then get on with this, because I don't want to keep you guys here forever watching this bullshit. You have your own joints to smoke and shit. It's time for the ghetto smoke chest ever. Okay, so it goes like this. Me and my father go to London. That's the first place we land, but we were actually going to a lot of different places around Europe. He had a business trip and I just came along. This was a couple years ago. And so we go to London, like we're driving around London, downtown London, like we get our hotel that's right by like Kensington Park or Hyde Park or something. And we go do some sightseeing, see like the palace, the Buckingham Palace, go see a bunch of different places, go see a Piccadilly Circus, which is kind of like the Times Square the Times Square of London in a way. And I fell in love with that city. The architecture there is crazy. Like none of the streets are straight. They're all like, they swing around and like they're all like cool. Like they're not on some boring grid. They look cool. And so here's what happens. Like after I hung out with my dad, he had to have a meeting or he had to be on a phone call for like something, and he let me just go walk around wherever. So I start walking really far down past Hyde Park down to like these shops, and like it takes like 10 minutes to walk there each day. But I go really far down there and I'm soaking in like the architecture and the culture and shit. And I'm thinking like, I need to get high. Same thing I was thinking when I was in the Caribbean. Like, I need to get high right now because this is really cool, but it would be like a little bit cooler if I was really baked. So that's exactly what I did. And this is my favorite thing to do, is when I'm sober and I'm pushed to want to go get some weed, it always makes me just be more social because I'm going up to anyone. So I remember walking way downhill down by Hyde Park. The streets are really tall buildings. Looks kind of like the streets of Boston in a way. It's hard to explain. But I get down by some like park or graveyard or some shit along the street, and they have those double-decker red buses and shit like that. And everyone has an accent that you're not used to and shit, so it was like pretty exciting for me. But like I seen these 2 or 3 kids sitting down on a bench, like looked like they were rolling something. So I went around the corner and stopped and then turned around and like watched them for a second, and then I went back and I just went up to them and I was like, hey, like, do you guys know where to get weed? Like, I'm from America, like, I'm visiting here. They're like, oh yeah, but fuck sure, like, that's where we're going right now. Let's go get high, like. And I was like, fuck yeah. So we went to their like apartment, like the backyard thingy of their apartment back a few more blocks down in the city. And I'm just in the streets of London by myself, just ready to get high. And they roll a halfie, because over there they don't roll joints with all weed. They roll it with half like tobacco, half weed. So I wasn't used to that. So I was about to get really lightheaded and shit smoking that. So we smoked our halfies and shit. We smoked that shit. We're talking about what shit's like from each country. And I remember one of them made this comment like, Americans, yeah, they're pretty lively. I guess. I mean, I'd be scared to go to Texas. That's random, but so I'm sorry, I'm high and I'm a little bit drunk, so I'm just talking slow. So then we start walking back up the street towards my hotel, and we're like at least a mile away down like by these awesome ass shops and shit. It's hard to explain. I could probably show you on Google Earth or some shit, or if I go back ever. But one of the kids' name was Browser. He was this tall, like tan as fuck dude, like wearing the same collared shirt every day. Like I can't remember the other dude's name, but yeah. So they got us high and like got me high. And then we went into this gas station and they were stealing alcohol out of it like it was nothing, because like it's nothing. And then we drank some of that and we started getting fucked up. And then I think that was the first day, like we just only did that. And then the second day I hit him up, and then we got some hard A somehow and I pitched in for that shit. One of them had a fake ID, and then we went even farther away, like 2 hours, like not 2 hours, but well, it took a long time to walk there. Off to some like there's this big ass movie theater in this train station. It's like this different district. It was starting to get more into like the offside London. It wasn't like the straight downtown. And we get really fucked up in this park and start graffitiing shit and like telling stories about each other's shit. And then I remember I was like on some rampage, like I just really wanted to get high, so I bought these legal ecstasy pills they have over there in a head shop. And like for 2 or 3 hours I was just super talkative up, like, you know, it was nothing like MDMA or nothing like any of that, but it still worked. It had me like all stimulated, like because the weed, you know, helped out. So I went back to the hotel and took a shower and just jacked off in the shower, just recorded myself talk about random shit. And then that shit wore off and I was like, never again, because it was the worst coming down. Then the next day, the third day we were there, I bought some Amanita muscaria mushrooms and tried to make this like little tea and make them. And then I went and even tried to smoke them, because I heard you could smoke it sometimes or some shit. So I tried to smoke Amanita muscaria mushrooms, so stupid, in some back alley. But yeah, I remember walking around just being like fucked up on like weed, alcohol, and if the Amanitas even worked. Just walk around the streets of London, like it was dope. I miss it. I miss London. I almost want to move there. It was a really dope town, like. But given the current circumstances of the situation with the government and all the arbitrary and just really like stupid, immoral like laws that are set up here in America and in the UK, I almost feel like it wouldn't be better off anywhere in UK than it would be here. Like it's the same bullshit. It's the same. You could like be put in jail just for smoking weed in a lot of places. Just mind blowing for me. That's mind blowing. That's more mind blowing than DMT. Is that you could get put in jail for having a fucking plant in your pocket. It's ridiculous. But anyways, fucking London, got really high in London. Let me try to remember a detail as I hit this shit, if you're even still watching this video. I remember. So after I was coming back from one of those people's, like I was hanging out with Browser and them, hanging out that one night, I was on my way back and it was starting to rain a little bit, and I realized I was kind of lost, like on the way back to my hotel. So I called my friend and told him I'm lost down here in the streets of London. It's like super trippy, like awesome ass town. Like that awesome back alleys, looked like it was out of some movie or some shit. So I was walking back and trying to walk back what I thought was the way back, and I hit this club. Like I walked past this club and there's these two kids trying to get into the club. They were too young, like they got caught, and I told them like, hey, what's up, like do you guys got weed? Like I got some money and like I have this jacket I don't wear a lot, like I'll give you this jacket if you give me super high. But they didn't want the jacket, but they wanted a few bucks, and like we went and go blaze. I met some other kids and we literally just blazed on like the front doorstep of like one of the houses. It's like, it's hard to explain London. Like at no point were we not surrounded by like buildings that were at least 5 stories high. Like it's not quite as big and tall buildings as New York per se, like Times Square and shit, but it's just way like longer. It spreads out farther, and it's like It's hard to explain. Like, I don't know if any of y'all have been to Boston. It's kind of like the architecture in Boston, but like you could tell it's even more like original. Like, it's crazy. It's hard to explain. We went to the original like King Henry Palace or whatever, like the King Henry like fucking castle or whatever, and we went to that big ass London Eye that goes really high up. It's like a circus, like a what are they fucking called? I can't remember what they're called. I can see them from here right now. Our Springfest is in town. We got the fair going on. Like, I might go there on some MDMA, but it's a bunch of little swag fags walking around. What are they called? Ferris wheel, and it's called the Bueller wheel, and it's like you could fit like 15 people in each thing. That's like how big each. It was like this circular like glass pod, like oval glass pod thing that like could fit like whole classrooms of people in it. It went so fucking high. So fucking high, man. So yeah, I mean, just try to imagine what it would be like to walk around London getting high with people you never met on your own, just kind of like miles away from your hotel, like not even giving a fuck. I mean, my excuse was to go and play soccer with them, but my dad's on the business call so much, and he like is at his meetings so much, so I have a lot of time to go off and just explore and shit. So it was fucking memorable walking like miles away in London, just blazing with some kids and shit, like getting drunk, doing graffiti in parks. Like, it was cool. It's cool shit. I wish something more crazy happened. I mean, I can't think. I didn't really do anything crazy on that trip besides like trying to like take Amanita, Muscaria. But yeah, it was London. It was great. It was London. It was great. It was London. It was great. I don't know what else to say. Maybe I'll do like a RAM video or some shit soon. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Fuck it. But trailer tale. I have a good trailer tale. This story is pretty damn fucking funny and crazy, and it's true. I'll take you to where it happened and record it because it's true. Fuck that shit. Fuck whoever waxed my eyebrows. It's totally fucked up. But yeah, that's it.